request video. The request is from my cousin. Hi Danielle, and it's going to be about dry ends. Decided to do this video for you guys because I figured not only my cousin and myself experience dry ends, and because a lot of you out there who are trying to grow your hair, you might find that as much as you put effort into taking care of your hair, you feel like you're still battling and competing to get healthy hair, but you still have like this rat-a-tat-tat thing going on at the end. I've come to know that there are 3 things, there may be more, but at least 3 things that I've experienced that cause dry ends. And I'm going to list these 3 things before I get into the way to combat them. That way you guys can kind of diagnose in yourself what might be causing your dry ends, or maybe figure out a whole different reason why you have dry ends. So the first reason that might cause dry ends, or has caused dry ends in the past for me, is processing your hair. And by processing, I mean either using a relaxer, a perm treatment, or coloring your hair. All of which denature your proteins and slightly dry out your hair. Or the thing that causes dry hair is not so much what you do to your hair, but the way your hair is naturally composed. It makes your hair more dry just because of the tight curled structure of your naturally curly hair. Third reason why your ends might be dry is your styling methods. And that might be the all infamous heat styling. It may just be abrasive. I love that I say abrasive hairstyling, as in combing your hair too much, and you know when you're combing your hair too much. The fourth reason is the most obvious reason. You guys probably don't even want to hear me mention this, but I figure I might as well. Your ends are the driest because it's your old hair. So keeping that in mind, don't beat up yourself if you feel like no matter what you do, your hair is dry at the end. Because for years and years and years and years and years, and I'm not gonna lie, even now, even today, even this moment, I have dry ends. So you kind of have to take that last point that I've given you into consideration. If you've realized that your hair is dry because, maybe I relax it, or maybe I color it, or maybe blah, blah, blah. I've mentioned this in my top 10 videos, and I think 2 subsequent videos after that. You can use a deep treatment to combat that. Definitely help it. Again, as I said before in other videos, you want to do these things to your hair, more than welcome to. I'm all for it, with moderation of course. So what I use, and I love this product, I actually finished it and there's something else in this right now, is the honey and olive oil hair mask. And I use this because both of these ingredients are natural. I can pronounce almost every single ingredient on the back, which is a good sign. Grounded and to earth you are, generally the better results you're gonna get. I mean, that's just with anything in life. And I think that's something that I've developed by taking nutrition, because I didn't necessarily have that outtake on life 5 years ago, but that's beside the point. Anyways, honey and olive oil hair mask. And the honey is good for moisturizing your hair because it's humectant. And what a humectant is, it is a hydrophobic molecule. Or no, I said that wrong. It's a hydrophilic, very big difference. Loves water, literally water loving, so it will bind with the hydrogen molecules, and that way it keeps the water in your hair. And the structure of the hair, the medulla, the cortex, and the cuticle, the medulla being the most inner part of your hair. The medulla is generally, it sometimes has a little bit of density to it, but from what I've read, it is hollow. So what you want to actually moisturize with a humectant, such as honey, is the cortex of your hair. So honey is good for that because it will keep the water, when you are conditioning your hair, attached and binded to your actual hair molecules. The olive oil is good because, let me read this one up because I kind of forgot, to be honest. Oh, it controls free radicals, and it moisturizes as well because it is an oil. You can always use olive oil by itself. You're going to use it before you shampoo your hair. I know that sounds kind of weird, but why are you going to do this? Because you want to make sure that you wash it out after so you don't have greasy hair. And secondly, you're supposed to use a gentle shampoo if you have dry or processed hair, so it shouldn't strip away that many nutrients that the olive oil is kind of providing with you. Or providing for you. The third product you can use, which is actually what's really in this jar, is a coconut deep treatment or coconut oil. And both of which are good because coconut oils provide fatty acids which help with your hair. Fatty acids are really good because they do coat it. They moisturize your hair. The thing that I wanted to mention before I move on to the other 2 ways to treat the symptoms of dry hair due to having curly hair or having over styled hair. Hair that is dry due to processing, use, and this is gonna sound so disgusting, placenta. Placenta is really good. And no, you're not gonna steal it from a hospital bed. You're gonna take placenta from either a health food store, well, I don't know. Well, people do eat placenta, I think. Gross. But, or you can get it from a hair store that sells placenta, and it comes in honestly like a thin kind of tube. It's not a squeeze bottle. You actually turn it over and you pour out whatever amount you want. It smells good, and if you read the ingredients, you won't be as alarmed because placenta is not the first blazing ingredient on the list. And once you use it, honestly, you'll get over the fact that it is what it is, because it works really well. Concentrate on your ends, leave it in for about 15-20 minutes, not that long. You can leave it in for 5 minutes. I always overdo every sort of treatment. You're never really supposed to leave it in for 5 minutes, so maybe don't take my advice on that one. Feel your hair softer, as well as it gives it a nice sheen to it. So that works really well. Or use Cheese Silk Infusion. And guys, I know I always bring this up in every sort of heat treatment tutorial or video that I do for you guys, but it's for a good reason. It's a really good product, and it actually, I would consider it a leave-in conditioner with the heat protecting qualities, because the most primary and essential thing that it does is moisturize your hair. It adds shine, and it makes it feel just softer and sleek, literally like silk. I love it for that reason. And on top of it, I feel like the add-on is the fact that it can protect your hair from heat styling. So concentrating at the end, especially when you're using something like a curling iron where you need to leave it in a few seconds for each section just to let the curls set in your hair, is really good because it protects. Second item, which I always refer to, and you've already seen in this video, is the argan oil. And it's good because it adds a lot of shine. That's the primary reason why I use it for, and it does moisturize as well. I do concentrate that on the ends a lot, so that's something I also would offer to you guys, again, as I have in like the last 10 videos that I've done. The third thing I've never offered to you guys before, and I actually don't have it here to show you, it's Infusium. I'm sure you've heard it because that's like the old lady thing to use, but honestly guys, it works really well. It just adds a nice shine. Don't use too much, you'll find that you have like a kind of tacky consistency in your hair, which is not pleasant at all. It makes your hair feel stronger, which is really weird, because you would like pull on your hair and I don't know, it's like a Pantene Pro V commercial kind of thing to say. Moving on to the other two things, if you have dry hair and dry ends, especially because your hair is naturally curly, then what you want to do is use an argan oil treatment. And this is very good if you are heat styling your hair or using damaging heat techniques to style your hair as well. And I pointed towards this in my top 10 video. Hydrating yourself, and you guys will notice when you're hydrating yourself enough. I'm gonna have a nutrition video later, so I don't want to get into it too much, but if you hydrate from the inside, it's going to reflect on the outside. You don't need 8 glasses a day. I'll talk about that more again in another video, but you guys will definitely know when you're getting enough water. Your body will let you know. Another thing to do if you have curly hair is, again, the deep treatment. I would say leave it in for longer than it does advise. But if it is like a super professional product, don't leave it in for any longer, or you might find adverse reactions. You can also use the olive oil treatment on the end, as you would if you had the processed hair, just because you really want to add a lot of nutrients and moisture to the ends. If you find that none of those work, or they only work a little bit, then you're going to want to combine it with a trim. And you're going to do a trim for the third reason that you get dry ends as well, which is the styling techniques. Trimming your hair, very important, especially if you have split ends, because there are a lot of things out there and a lot of people do have this debate that you can treat split ends, but personally I don't think it. If you guys have any tips out there that can help the community as well as me, please let us know, and I will always try to incorporate that into a future video if it is helpful. As I always do, I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you want more information and more detailed description, everything will be on my blog in paragraph form. No, maybe I'll make it bulletproof point form. Bye!